All right, what is up, Padres fans? We are back. We're back for the 2024 season. I am your host, the host with the most, and there's a lot of stuff happening now. I haven't posted any podcast episodes since the end of last season. Actually, I think it was like in August maybe. So I haven't posted anything. A lot has happened since then, and I do want to kind of go over some of that stuff, but I do want to try to keep this episode short, and I'll make some more episodes to talk more about what's going to happen. So I want to give a big shout out to Peter Seidler and his family. Want to start off with that because that's probably like the worst news that happened over the off season, and a lot of other stuff happened too that just piled on it. But that was probably the worst thing, was losing the owner, part owner of the Padres, Peter Seidler. And usually I don't really care about billionaires. I don't have like a soft spot in my heart for them at all. But as I learned about Peter Seidler before his passing, I learned about the work that he did in the community. He worked with an organization that I'm familiar with. And, I know that organization does good work. So, once I saw that and a couple other organizations that I saw that he worked with, I was like, man, this guy's a little different. This guy, he's really serious. He's really dedicated and concerned about the lives of poor people and homeless people in San Diego. And if you're from San Diego, you know that that's a big problem here in this city. If you ever gone to the baseball games, you go to Petco Park, you'll see a bunch of people just living on the sidewalks and stuff like that, living on the streets. And it's not fun. It's not fun seeing that. And so as somebody who has a lot of wealth and maybe make a huge difference, he tried to do something about it. So he was really involved in that situation. And I think that's why so many people in San Diego and outside of the city really, made a big deal about his passing. Because how often do like billionaires pass away, or often do owners of baseball teams pass away, and people are talking about them in such high regard. So he was different, and so I just want to make sure that I recognize the passing of Peter Seidler, a great man. Besides his role as an ownership, he was just an amazing dude, and on top of all that, in addition to the great work that he did. So even if he wasn't the owner of the Padres, he was still somebody that you probably wouldn't have even heard about him because he didn't make a big deal about it. You wouldn't know about this billionaire that's out there trying to help people. But on top of all that, he was the owner of the Padres. And so he really invested in the team. And ever since I've been in San Diego my whole life. I'm from here. I was born and raised here. The Padres have never had that. As far as I know, and honestly, I didn't really pay that close attention to baseball in general, or the Padres in particular, just because they never were like a contender. 1984, 1998 maybe, but they didn't have. Anytime we got good people, they would leave. Tony Gwynn being an exception, of course. But most of the time, if people were good, we would lose them because we were not willing to put up the money. So he changed that, and he got a lot of people in San Diego back into baseball in general, and into the Padres specifically. So he did that. He did that by committing his money to making sure that we had some of the best players in baseball on our team. And a lot of people talk about, oh, well, all these decisions that happened last season, keeping Hader, keeping Snell instead of trading them before the trade deadline, signing Yu Darvish to a long contract, signing Cronenworth, signing Machado, all these deals, that was because Peter Seidler really wanted to try to win something before he died. I mean, honestly felt he had a lot of close touches with death. And so I think he had this vision, like I'm not going to be here forever, and why not just go for it? And so I think that's why we didn't trade Snell, we didn't trade Hader at the trade deadline, because he knew he wasn't going to be around. He was like, it's now or never. Let's go for it. Let's do it. And unfortunately, that did not happen. And we had a terrible season. Did not work out well. But before I move on to the future, I'll just finish by saying that he did a lot for the team. Hopefully, that doesn't end. With the new ownership. Eric, I forgot his last name, but hopefully he keeps it going in the same direction, and so hopefully that's going to happen. I do want to mention, going forward, we have a lot to look forward to, and one of the first things I want to talk about or mention is the fact that there is going to be a memorial for Peter Seidler on Saturday, March 23rd at 1:00. So I definitely am going to try to clear my schedule to be there that day for that. So that's going to be pretty awesome. They are giving away free tickets. I think the first 10,000 people are going to get a Peter Seidler patch. It's probably going to be a heart. I'm not sure, but a patch with the letter PS on it. And the Padres are going to wear those patches on their uniforms, and you could get one and sew it onto something or stick it. I'm not sure how it's going to work. So those are going to be given out that day, but the tickets are free. You just got to, sign up. I think the first day that you can request the tickets is February 29th. So beginning February 29th, you can go online and get your tickets for that, sign up for that. The other big thing is the following day, Sunday, March 24th, is going to be Fan Fest. I did not go last year. But I do want to try to go this year. I am going to try to clear my schedule again to try to make it for that. I did not go. Those are also free tickets, I believe. They're giving out a ton of tickets. You can reserve up to 4 tickets. That's going to be 12:30 to 5:30. And those tickets, you can start reserving those February, I think, 16th. If you're a season ticket holder, you can get access to them on the 15th. But everybody else has to wait until the following day, February 16th. So mark your calendar for February 16th so you can reserve 4 free tickets to go to that. And so I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode. I don't want it to go on for too long, but I just wanted to start this season, 2024, this year's podcast with the big shout out and recognition of Peter Seidler. And my boys Don and Mud right here, they just announced MLB.com announced you can get your subscription to watch Padres baseball. I think it's $19.99 a month or $100 for the year. It's not a year, it's a season. And then you can also pay for a little more, $199, so $200 or $39 a month to watch all the games that are even out of the area. So check that out. I'm going to hand it over to Don and Mud.
Oh, down by way of the K. That's some kind of night.
Baby.
Gone! Into a sea of San Diego.
Woo! Let's go.
That's a big league play right there, folks. Let's go, San Diego.